The focus of AECT Standard 1 is content knowledge. Standard 1 states that candidates demonstrate the knowledge necessary to create, use, assess, and manage theoretical and practical applications of educational technologies and processes. To demonstrate mastery of this standard, I will concentrate on the following two artifacts. For my EdTech 512 online course project, I designed a 7-module course. Each of the 7 modules focuses on a different standard of music. In the modules, I use many different types of learning activities, such as videos, articles, and diagrams, to help students build their understanding of musical concepts. I currently use Canvas as a school teacher. I have been able to use what I've learned to help fellow teachers as they design their online courses, something that to many seems daunting. The next artifact is my EdTech 503 instructional design report called Sewing Basics. For this project, I was asked to create a 3 to 5 hour course. I was advised to choose a subject that I had never taught before, in order to focus more on the design rather than the teaching. To accomplish this, I chose to create a sewing course for young adults ages 18 to 30. Part of the process involved creating a Google Form survey to discover what my target audience already knew about the topic. From the survey results, I was able to tailor the course to meet the needs of my audience. I wrote a formal report in which I reported on all aspects of the project, as well as comments from my subject matter expert and personal reflection on the project as a whole. This course was a perfect opportunity to approach course creation from an instructional design perspective rather than from a teacher's perspective. I believe it is important for teachers to take a step back in order to see the big picture. These are 2 of the artifacts that show how I have met the requirements of Standard 1 content knowledge. These artifacts exemplify how I create, use, assess, and manage learning through technology and processes. The focus of AECT Standard 2 is on content pedagogy. Standard 2 states candidates develop as reflective practitioners able to demonstrate effective implementation of educational technologies and processes based on contemporary content and pedagogy. To demonstrate mastery of this standard, I will concentrate on the following 2 artifacts. In EdTech 502, I created many different websites. One of these websites is a virtual field trip. This website, which consists of multiple pages, takes students on a tour of the weather station, led by their guide, Mr. Drizzle. They get to learn all sorts of topics relating to weather. This website is a great source to implement into a science class, which I have done with my 4th grade class. Throughout the tour, students get to watch many videos and read articles about each topic. By utilizing a virtual field trip, it sparks students' interest. It also has an accompanying worksheet and Google form. My next artifact is my project-based learning unit I designed and developed in EdTech 542. For this project, I used Google Sites to create a multi-page unit all about the campaign trail process. All the tools, resources, as well as project maps and timelines, assessment information, and project and performance details are found within. In the unit, I use many G Suite resources as well as videos to guide my students. The election ballot is a Google form. Through using technology and the processes involved, students gain a greater understanding of what the campaign trail is all about. It is a great benefit to students to have these types of hands-on learning experiences. These are two of the artifacts that show how I have met the requirements of Standard 2 content pedagogy. The focus of AECT Standard 3 is learning environments. Standard 3 states that candidates facilitate learning by creating, using, evaluating, and managing effective learning environments. To demonstrate mastery of this standard, I will concentrate on the following two artifacts. The report I completed for EdTech 505 demonstrates my ability to evaluate the learning that takes place through the True Motion Martial Arts program. For this report, I conducted an evaluation of the program and how it met its three overarching goals. I created a Google Forms survey in which True Motion martial arts participants reflected on their perceptions of the program and how it is meeting their needs. I used the data I gathered from the survey to evaluate the program and to give suggestions for future implementation. In EdTech 502, I created a website about copyright and fair use. This is an important topic regarding ethics, which students need to be able to understand. For this website, I use many links to guide students to find different articles. Students search for the answers within these articles. The information is about copyright and fair use. I also created an answer page. By completing this activity, students gain the necessary knowledge to more fully understand the Internet's environment and manage their use of its resources. These are two of the artifacts that show how I have met the requirements of Standard 3 learning environments. Through these artifacts, I demonstrate how I create, use, evaluate, and manage an effective learning environment. The focus of AECT Standard 4 is professional knowledge and skills. Standard 4 states that candidates design, develop, implement, and evaluate technology-rich learning environments within a supportive community of practice. To demonstrate mastery of the standard, I will concentrate on the following three artifacts. In EdTech 502, I developed a single-page website about computer etiquette. This is an important topic for students to understand. For this website, I designed it to compare dinner manners to computer etiquette. I have been able to implement this lesson with a couple of my 4th grade classes. I hope to continue to teach students to evaluate their online actions through reading this site. For EdTech 537, I created a blog in which I designed, developed, and managed a series of blog posts. Throughout the course, I implemented different types of posts, including pictures, videos, polls, and audio recordings. I have been able to implement blog-type discussions in my classroom via our LMS discussion page and plan to continue to do so. In EdTech 541, one of the assignments was to complete weekly learning logs. By completing these each week, I was able to evaluate and reflect upon many of the topics we learned about through the course. I was also able to respond to the posts of others in the course. I learned a lot from the posts of others. I plan to continue to write blog posts similar to these to support others in using technology in the classroom. These three artifacts show how I have met the requirements of AECT Standard 4 professional knowledge and skills. Through these artifacts, I demonstrate how I design, develop, implement, and evaluate technology-rich learning environments. The focus of AECT Standard 5 is research. Standard 5 states that candidates explore, evaluate, synthesize, and apply methods of inquiry to enhance learning and improve performance. One of the topics discussed in EdTech 501 was the digital divide. As part of the course, I created a presentation on this topic. I also addressed the pros and obstacles of a flipped classroom. To prepare for this presentation, I conducted research to find resources. I explored many different resources and evaluated which ones would best suit the presentation. In EdTech 503, I was asked to evaluate and analyze an instructional design case. After I read the case study, I was then given the task to use the research and knowledge I had gained throughout the course to apply it to the 3 different issues identified. This taught me how to apply principles of instructional design to a specific situation. In the future, I will be able to apply my knowledge to other situations. In EdTech 504, I learned about many different learning theories. After learning about the different theories, I was asked to write a paper about one of them and how it connected to educational technology. It involved evaluating many sources and then synthesizing that information into an organized report. These 3 artifacts show how I have met the requirements of AECT Standard 5 research. Through these artifacts, I demonstrate how I explore, evaluate, synthesize, and apply research.